Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And tonight, it's Tuesday, and so I'm here with a sketch challenge for you. So I hope that I'll have some people jumping on and playing along. I have posted a link to the sketch underneath the video so that you'll be able to go out and find it. It's a Google Doc, so you can go and download that sketch and play along when you get a chance. I also posted the link to my Facebook group. So if you're coming in through my Facebook page or through YouTube and you want to share your cards, because I love to see what you create, you can join my group, share your cards, and I actually draw prizes at the end of the month from some of the people who've shared their cards. So if you'd like to join, I'd love to have you. And if you're coming in through YouTube, welcome. If it's your first time, definitely welcome. And if it's not, welcome back. And while you're here on YouTube watching, make sure you take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, let's get started. I'm going to switch over to my desktop. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Catherine. Great. Got some people watching. Okay, I'm looking at my phone to make sure I can see that I'm live and can see comments. There we go. All right. Oops, now I got there we go. I'll mute that. Now I can see comments. Okay. All right. So this was the sketch that I've got. As I said, you can download this sketch. The link is underneath the video, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. Hey, Cynthia, welcome. Okay, so it's a 5.5 by 8.5 inch card base, which is your standard card base, or you can make it 4 1/4 by 11, depending on whether you like it booklet fold or tent fold. Layer number 1, which in my picture is the yellow, is 4 inches by 5 1/4, kind of typical layer, first layer size. Then you've got 2 layers, the green and the blue, that are 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Layer 4, which is the orange, is 2 inches by 3 inches. Layer 5, which is this blue strip, 3/8 of an inch by 4 inches, and then roughly a 2-inch circle. So you can do all sorts of different things with this. I'm going to show you what I thought I'd do with the card, and then I'll give you some other ideas of how you could make this. Okay. Let me show you what I'm going to use first of all. I'm using the Painted Christmas suite from the July to December mini catalog. So the suite comes with two bundles, which is kind of amazing. The Christmas season bundle, which comes with the seasonal label dies, cuts out all of these shapes as well as some great label shapes. So it's a really versatile one. And then the Christmas to Remember, which is all the great sentiments. And I'm not using the bundle that goes along with it. Oops, let me just close my Facebook so I can't see comments. I'm not using the bundle that goes along with it, but some great pine cones and some background bow dies that go along with it. I'm just using this for the great sentiments. Okay. Now let's bring in the paper and all my supplies. Okay, so I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz. I haven't used Pear Pizzazz in a long time. I'm not sure why I don't go for Pear Pizzazz. It just doesn't seem to come to the top of my thought process. But tonight, because of the designer series paper that is in this suite, I thought I would use Pear Pizzazz. So I'm just scoring my card base, which I've got 5.5 by 8.5. So I've scored it at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to fold. So when you've scored, remember to fold into the mountain. So this is the raised one, the raised score line. So I'm just folding into that raised side, and I'm just going to give it a good burnish with my bone folder. And I'm going to turn this so I can see who's on, because I've got lots of people on tonight. Wow, somebody from the Netherlands. Amazing. Thank you for joining. That's great. And Susan from New York and Charlene from Newfoundland. Kathleen's here from Ontario. And then I've got somebody, Lynette's from Alberta and Catherine's from BC. Wow, a real range. So I'm so glad you're all here tonight. Okay, so I've got my card base. Now, my layer number 2 is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I have gone ahead and, Carol from Connecticut, welcome. I have gone ahead and embossed this using the Timber embossing folder. I really love this one. And if you remember, there was one called, I think it was called Hardwood or something like that a few years ago that Stampin' Up! Had. And it really, I always had problems with it because it really embossed deep impressions into it. This one is a much finer, more subtle texture to it, but just really pretty and kind of goes along with the theme. So I'm not going to emboss or adhere that down quite yet. So now I've got my 2 pieces. These are layer numbers 3 and 4 that are cut, what did I say, 2 3/4 by 4. So again, I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz, and then I've got the really pretty designer series paper that goes along with the Painted Christmas. Hey, Nancy. Painted Christmas designer series, or Painted Christmas suite. Gosh, I'm getting all these people that are joining. Hi, Diane from Saskatchewan. I'm just amazed how many people are on tonight. That's so exciting. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces here, my Pear Pizzazz and my designer series paper. And then for me, this is one of the things, I've got a piece, this is a strip of the Fine Art Floral ribbon. So this is going to be my layer number 5 that is about 3/8 of an inch by 4 inches. So you can use ribbon, you could use a strip of cardstock, lots of ways that you can do that. And then I've got, oops, I'm missing a piece. So this, I've cut out one of the labels from the seasonal label dies. So this is the larger of the 2 of that shape of label. Roughly, what did I say, 2 inches by 3 inches. I'm going to put my sentiment on there. And then I've got a red circle. This is the 5th largest circle from the layering circle dies. And the layering circle come with the regular circles as well as the scallop circles. And this is the 5th largest of them. So that's kind of what it's going to be. All right, so I'm going to do some stamping first. So I'm going to stamp, actually not quite that yet. I'm going to do some stamping because I am going to put, I'm going to stamp and cut out some of these shapes. So these holly leaves and then the holly berries are what I'm going to stamp. So let me just grab some blocks and some berries. That's all I'm going to use. Now these are photopolymer stamps, so you want to make sure you've got a good cushion underneath it. Often I have a whole stack of grid paper, but tonight I don't. So I am, and I forgot my ink pads. Where did they go? They're over here. Here we are. I was going to say, I was sure I grabbed ink pads. Okay, so I'm going to stamp my berries using Real Red. Just like that. I'm not sure if this stamp is, no, it's not distinctive because it's photopolymer, but it really gives a really nice, it's not a solid image. It's kind of pixelated, and I really like that look. And then some holly leaves, and I'm stamping those in Evening Evergreen, which goes along with the designer series paper. Hey, Sharon. Okay, and now I'm going to find the dies. So there are dies that cut out these holly leaves, and then there are dies that cut out the berries. Now I'm just going to use a little piece of Post-it note tape. You can use Post-it note, but I just use this Post-it note tape just to hold this in place so that it doesn't shift when you're actually cutting it out. We don't have a magnetic plate yet, so this just holds it in place. So if you don't have this, you can just use a Post-it note just to hold that in place. All right, I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine just off to the side so I don't cause the table and my camera to shake. I just cut it off to the side. Here we go. So there's one of the leaves, two of the leaves, and then the berries. Save that for later. You can always reuse that there. Okay, so I've got my that. Now I'm just going to layer this on because I want to stamp my sentiment on, and I just need to figure out roughly where it's going to go. So that will go like that. That will go, so you're going to angle those. This goes on like this. So, okay, I can pretty much put my sentiment wherever I want it to go. So let's stamp. I think I'm going to use real red. And get my sentiments back. I think I will use this one that says, I think this will fit on. I hope this will fit on here. Didn't really think about that. Yeah, it'll fit. I wasn't really thinking which direction my sentiment was going to go, but it works. So this one says, friends like you make this season special. I'm just going to test this and see. You never know whether I got my label. No, it's not quite on straight. So when you've got a label, just make sure you test it on grid paper because you sometimes don't get your label on straight. So you can just kind of do some adjustment. Like that. Make sure I kind of got that. Didn't quite get it straight, but it's okay. All right, so that's that. Now we can start assembling. So I'm going to use my multi-purpose adhesive glue. I've been joking lately because I seem to be moving more to the multi-purpose adhesive glue. Oh, and I didn't mean to do that because I wanted to put my ribbon. Okay, we're going to do something different. I was going to tuck my ribbon around the back, but since I've got glue on here, I will adhere that down and we'll do something different. Yeah, I've been using more of the liquid glue lately. I'm not sure what's caused me to switch over. In fact, I had to actually put an order in. I was almost out. So I opened one the other day and it had been around for a while. So I knew that I hadn't been using it always. So I put an order in today for more. Okay, so we're just going to kind of angle that so that it's roughly the same distance top and bottom and side to side at an angle. And then the same with the designer series paper. Right. And then okay, so this is going to go on like this, and I'm not going to, I'm just going to glue this down. I'll pop up my circle, but so we'll just put that on like that. Okay, so now this is where I was going to tuck this around the back, but since I have already gone ahead and cut this or adhered that down, I'm just going to take a piece and cut it. I'll trim it later and I'll just adhere it down. For this, I'm going to use a bit of tear and tape adhesive. So we will just put a strip of tear and tape adhesive across this, and that will definitely hold my ribbon in place. And get this all lifted off with my. All right. So some amazing things started today with Stampin' Up. If you hadn't seen my newsletter, there is the Eden's Garden was launched today. So if you are interested in Eden's Garden, it is a pre-release from the upcoming mini catalog that goes live in, when does it go live? January. And then with it is some designer series paper and cotton paper and gems, which are only available while supplies last. So if you are interested in that, I strongly suggest you put your orders in sooner than later, because I am worried that it is just so stunning. And if you've seen, I have done some of my lives using it. So if you want it, you probably want to get your order in sooner than later for the designer series paper, cotton paper, and gems. The other thing that was coming up is the Join Special. So if you are interested in becoming part of the Stampin' Up community and my ink and paper stampers team, you can join starting on November 4th this is in Canada, for $100, and normally it is $135, and for that you get actually $165 worth of product of your choice. So it really is a great opportunity to get a lot of product and join this amazing community. I actually, I may have joined for the discount, but I definitely stayed for the community, and I just love being part of it and being able to stamp and become friends with so many people from all over the world. So that starts on Thursday. So if you're interested in that, just or have questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. All right, so we will put. Okay, I got a little bit of the dimensional sticking out. Don't want to do that. Okay, so we put that like that, and then around there. I'm going to just use a glue dot. I think I've got enough height on mine. So I'm just going to stick my berries down using a couple of glue dots. Like that. Now, somewhere I have, yes, there it is. I'm going to use some Wink of Stella just to give, thanks, Nancy, give my, you may not be able to see this, but to give the berries just a bit of a shimmer. Now, I do find that the Wink of Stella will cause the ink to bleed, so just be a little careful with it. It definitely, you can let it dry a lot and it won't do that, but just be careful if you're putting it on when it's a little bit wet still. Okay, and then my favorite gems are these Gilded Gems. So we're just going to put some more gold on here because it just feels like it needs some more gold. And let's see, there we go, on there. Right, now somewhere I did get a piece of basic white. So this is for the inside of the card, and it is 4 inches by 5 1/4. A little bit of adhesive on that. There we go. So we will stamp a sentiment on the inside of the card as well. So let's do just Merry Christmas. Thinking Real Red. The Pear Pizzazz and Real Red is really pretty together. Okay, so let's line that up with the grid paper. I want to check this to see how straight. And looks pretty straight. Here we go. So you could put a little bit more of designer series paper on the inside of your card, or you could stamp something. I am just going to leave it plain so I have some room to write. And put this on the inside. Definitely going to have to get the pair of pizzazz out a little bit more. It's just so pretty. Okay, now let me bring my sketch back in. I had somebody ask me to always put the sketch beside my cards so they could see. Now, I said I would give you some suggestions of what other things you could do. You could switch up where I've embossed. You could use designer series paper and then 2 different cardstock. Or you could use, like I've done, designer series paper cardstock and then designer series paper behind it. You could put a strip of cardstock instead of ribbon. So lots of ways that you can use this sketch. I really like the sketches where these 2 pieces are alternated or offset from each other at an angle. That really appeals to me for some reason. So I hope you like it too. Thanks, Charlene. Thanks, Kathleen. Great. Oh yeah, I could have stamped Holly, Kathleen, for sure. And maybe I will still do that at some point, but we probably got enough stamping on there for tonight. So thanks so much for everybody joining me. It's just been amazing to have so many people from all over the world join me tonight. I will be live I'll be back on Thursday night, and it's only on my Facebook group. So if you want to participate in a mystery challenge, join my group. And as I said, the link to my Facebook group is underneath the video. I do a mystery challenge every Thursday night at 6:30 Pacific. And so the clue for the mystery challenge goes live at about 9 a.m. Pacific on Thursday morning. So if you'd like to join me, join my group, and you can participate in the mystery challenge. I'll be back on Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific with a demo. And I think what I'm going to do, if I'm brave enough, is demonstrate how to make, if you've seen the Eden's Garden pictures, there is this most amazing, stunning puffy ribbon, puffy bow that is in the pictures. And I think I'm going to demonstrate how to make that if I get brave. One of the demonstrators, I don't know if Marilyn is on tonight, but a demonstrator on the same team I'm on demoed it and made it look really easy. So we'll see if I can make it look as easy as Marilyn did. Yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to join me at least sometime through the week. So thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate all your support, and I hope you enjoyed the card. Happy stamping, everybody. Bye. Oh, Marilyn, you're there. Thanks. So Marilyn, just don't watch on Saturday if I'm live doing the bow, because you did such an amazing job. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Good night.